Hello, my name is Andy and I am the Village Idiot. I'm armed with a car and a GoPro and an unhealthy amount of time on my hands. I'm using that time to attempt to visit every civil parish in England. You're watching the Rugby series, one of the northernmost parts of the county of Warwickshire, with 41 civil parishes within it. Here's one of them in more detail. Hello everybody, welcome back to Rugby. It's still warm, but it's still okay. We can still walk around. It's still not too warm that we have to stop yet. And it's a good job it isn't really, because we're starting this one outside a farm shop, and you can bet your bottom dollar that the TVI pounds will be coming out for this. It's called the Malt Kiln Farm Shop, and it does have a cafe and a butcher's and all sorts of other things. There's probably some more information on this sign right here. Butcher's, deli, pick your own, local produce, plant centre, coffee shop, and Rebecca's Kitchen. And you'll find that in a lovely little place called Stretton-under-Fosse. Here's my disclaimer for people who may be watching me for the first time. I say things as I would in my native accent and dialect. As a result, I may not pronounce things in the same way as the locals do. Remember, I'm a visitor. It's impossible to know everything. Leave me a comment, spin me a like, and bash that subscribe button. Let's get to today's parish video. Stretton-under-Fosse is where we are today, literally just a couple of miles away from the last place we covered in the Borough of Rugby, Pailton. Its population was recorded as 234 in the 2011 census. This is a typical linear village containing a number of old cottages, some of which are listed. There are 13 listed buildings, in fact, within Stretton-under-Fosse. Just outside Stretton is an old manor house, Newbold Revel, which is currently used as a training college for prison officers. Nearby is the Oxford Canal and a canal arm leading to Stretton Wharf. Stretton is very much a Roman name. It means settlement on a Roman road, literally translating as street town. The Roman road in question lies to the village's north, hence why this is under Fosse. The Roman road is of course the Fosse Way, part of which we'll be close to later in the video when we have a look at Stretton Wharf. Stretton has a few landmarks of note otherwise. The one that took our fancy the most was the Malt Kiln Farm Shop, where we used our TVI pounds. For those who are new, that's a way for us to support local businesses. There's also a village hall which has a memorial to a former World War I airbase, and the phone box is the unlikely source in this village for most of its history. Let's go and check it all out then, shall we? Welcome to Stretton-under-Fosse, a place which was historically part of the Newbold Revel estate. There's been a settlement in this part of Warwickshire since at least the 16th century. It's primarily residential now, but through time this has been something of a thriving settlement, with plenty of farms and various trades lining this road. It even once had a school. It doesn't have much in the way of amenities these days. With no post office, this is the best the village can do when it comes to the postal service. The nearest post office is in Brinklow. Now here we have the phone box, which doesn't have a working phone, nor is it a book exchange, but if you take a step into this, you can learn so much more about the place you're in. So Nikki tells me this is the first time you've seen one of these things used as a history point. So let's have a look inside. I bet it's warm in here. Oh, it's actually not too bad. Right, okay. So, what have we got? Farming. Right, farming used to provide the main occupation for the village's inhabitants. Oh, That's not even the beginning.
It's a book.
It's a book. Oh, right, okay. Hang on then. Oh, let's go to the beginning. Right. Are we sitting comfortably? So we'll begin. The history of Stretton-under-Fosse. So, there's not much room in here.
No. Do you want me to hold that camera?
Yeah, if you want.
Go on then.
So we've got some nice photos of the place. That's where we are. That's where we are right now.
Sorry if I do a bit fast, you know, you get drunk.
We've got some pictures of Newbold Revel here. Now, I haven't mentioned this yet. This is now used as a prison training college. I did email them to ask whether or not.
It's not a prison training college. You don't need training for prison. Prison guards and prison operatives training college.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Prison service, shall we say? Prison service training college. Just in case anyone's wondering out there whether or not you can make a living from being a criminal, you can't. I did email them to say to gauge whether I could go down there and take a few shots of this, but they haven't got back to me, so I may not be able to go down there, but we'll see later. Let's turn the page again. 70 houses on the B4027.
So some basic village information, isn't it, and history?
Yeah, pretty much.
And then he talks about Manor Farm, which looks to be a main farm in the village.
Yeah. You can probably read this by pausing the video. If I tried to read all of this,
yeah,
I think you'd probably...
I'm talking about the village hall there as well.
You'd probably get bored. So I'll just...
Then some shops that were...
Yeah.
And a pub that was...
The Union Jack pub. The Union Jack pub. Supposed to be unique in the British Isles. Have we come across that yet, do you think? I don't think we have we?
I think so.
We'll see if we can find it.
An old forge.
Old forge.
Every village has one. Or should have one.
Well, mostly did, yeah. I think that's the end. Brilliant. Oh, and there's a map, by the way. Hand-drawn map.
And there's a...
OS map.
No, on the wall there's a little guide, a little walking guide.
Oh, yeah, there is, yeah.
So there's a village stroll, there's the Grimes Bridge walk in the other corner.
There's more in here than you think, isn't there?
And then there's also here...
What else have you found?
So this, as we looked at the beginning of the book, Stretton-under-Fosse to Easnall.
Ah, a footpath.
Another village walk. So there's 3 different walks and a load of history.
Pretty much.
That's one use for a red phone box.
We continued down the street towards the other end of the village in search of the building that was the former Union Jack Inn. We didn't find it because it was demolished in 2002. We do know though where it was. This building here used to be a shop and it was called W. Burns. The building which was the Union Jack Inn is directly opposite this, out of shot to the left. Buses run out here. The same ones that run through Pailton make stops in Stretton-under-Fosse, so once again the 85 and its variations are the numbers you need. Let's get the parish notice board out of the way next. It's only a small one, but there's still plenty going on in this community. Thumbs up again from the wife. The gorgeous houses continued to come too as we carried on. This one is the old coach house according to the name on its wall. It's a pretty place in whichever direction you're looking. So Stretton is not that big. We're about, I would say, a good 3/4 of the way along the main road through it.
Doing me a bit.
It ends just at this corner up here. There's a house with a chimney you can see just around that corner. That's basically where it stops, and that's where we'll turn around and head back towards that farm shop. Nikki, we'll see what we can buy with the TVI pounds.
Yeah,
see what they've got.
It'll be the old plastic version this time.
I probably will. This is the village hall. It was a gift to the village from the son of the late Leo Bon, founder of the National Institute for the Deaf, who lived at Newbold Revel in the 1930s. On the wall, there's a memorial concerning an air base in the village. Royal Aircraft Factory fighters of No. 38 Squadron had the base available to them as a home defence landing ground during World War I. At the end of the village there's a gate which is the entrance to a footpath leading in the direction of Newbold Revel. If you follow it, you'll reach Smite Brook, a water channel close to the house. Okay, so we've reached the end of the village. I think I've decided what to do with Newbold Revel. I'm just going to basically give you a special section on it. It's easier than trying to walk down there and being disappointed when we get there to find that we can't get any further down than I would have liked. So a special section on that, and straight after that you'll get today's picture bit. Newbold Revel is a Grade 2 listed country house used by the UK's prison service as a training college, and it has been since 1985. The house was built in 1716 for Sir Fulwer Skipwith, 2nd Baronet Skipwith. Newbold Revel's history goes back much further. Originally Fenny Newbold, the manor was acquired by the Revel family around 1235. It descended to Sir John Revel, an MP. His grandson was Sir Thomas Malory, the probable author of Le Morte d'Arthur, a 15th century reworking of tales about the legendary King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. The present house is not the original. Newbold Revel as we know it today was constructed of brick in 3 stories to a H-shaped plan with an 11-bay frontage. It was sold in 1931 to the Seventh-day Adventists for use as a missionary training college, and during World War II it was an agent training establishment. It's also seen use by the Sisters of Charity of St Paul and by British Telecom. So next, after a walk back, we decided to have a look at the Malt Kiln farm shop, where this video began. Check out these fields of sunflowers on the approach road. This is a family-run farming business surrounded by fields where in the summer you can pick your own soft fruits like strawberries and raspberries. In October, they even have a pumpkin patch. Now of course, there are no internal shots here as that wouldn't be allowed, but I can show you what we bought. We got some fresh gooseberries and some jam. They do all kinds of meat too, including homemade pork pies and sausage rolls. We sampled the cafe too, Rebecca's Kitchen, where we had a pot of tea, loose leaf no less. We could have spent hours in this place. It had everything. So I came back outside, stand in the shade while Nikki just went.
Standing in the shade, keep being in the shade.
Well, Nikki went back to the counter and bought something else. What did you buy?
Oh, I did. Right, so this is the Malt Kiln farm shop.
They know that, I've already told them.
And the only thing that we didn't get in that box was something of their own produce. And I spotted this on the counter and I'm like, we spotted it just after I'd paid for the other purchases, so I went back and got some. Summer fruits jam, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, red currants, black currants, sugar and lemon juice.
So it's a bit like the jumbleberry jam we saw back in Burton Pidsey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, excellent. That's going in the box as well then. And we need to move on towards the last thing in Stretton-under-Fosse, which is part of the Oxford Canal. For the first time on the channel, here we have part of the Oxford Canal. This is the Stretton Arm, which leads north from the main course up to Stretton Wharf. The Oxford Canal was one of the first generation of canals in the United Kingdom and was built following contours in a winding route full of loops and meanders. Originally, this was the main route. In the 1820s, the northern section of the canal from Coventry to Braunston Junction, where it connected with the Grand Union Canal, was radically shortened by cutting off some of those loops. Some sections of the loops remain in water, and this is one of them, stretching a short way from the new main line towards Stretton-under-Fosse. It's used now as a boatyard. Stretton Wharf should not be confused with another wharf of the same name in Staffordshire, where there's an aqueduct that carries the Grand Union Canal over the A5. And there you go, that's Stretton-under-Fosse, and we don't have to go very far to get to the next one. Literally all I have to do is turn around somewhere here, head that way, turn right, and then turn right again, and then we're in the next village. And I believe, Nikki, there's a pub there.
I think I might be hallucinating.
Why?
I swear to God, I've just seen a gritter go past.
Ah.
It's 35-degree heat.
I can explain that, actually. No, I'm glad you've mentioned that. I can explain that. Normally, we're used to seeing gritters in the cold winter months spreading salt on the road, obviously to stop them from icing over. In the summer, they spread sand because it soaks up the excess bitumen that melts under the extreme heat to stop the roads from tearing up.
That's okay, then I wasn't hallucinating.
No, you wasn't.
Fine, no problem.
Are you okay?
Doing me a bake.
Okay, well the next village has got a pub, so you'll be able to get a nice drink there, I think.
Cold soft drink and a salad, I think.
That's a good idea. I think I'll go with that myself. Let's go and find that next village here in Rugby. This has been the parish of Stretton-under-Fosse, and I've been Andy, also known as the Village Idiot, and I'm out.